Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Saturday. We're recording on a Saturday because we are
Yes,
workaholics.
7 o'clock in the evening, and we are recording.
7 o'clock in the evening, recording podcast. What do you think about that?
I think that we love you guys,
We
and
love,
we love what we do as well.
we love you, most importantly. So, just real quick before we get started, this is part three, I believe, of a series about traveling, and it's going to be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. A lot of tips, a lot of things that we think that are important, and we have someone to thank today.
Yeah. So apparently there is a podcast that I didn't really know about called como é que é? Milkshake que se
Chamado
chama...
Wanda.
Milkshake chamado Wanda.
Isso.
And I don't know too much about this podcast. I just listened to one episode. It was really funny. But they give recommendations at the end of the episode. And they
And
mentioned us.
yay, we are so happy about it.
Yeah. So starting from like Thursday until Saturday,
Yeah,
we went from like
we had a
not
lot
that
of
many people
new.
listen to us to we were really high on the iTunes chart. We were number one for
Number one.
or not anymore.
We are the champions, my friend.
Anyway, thanks guys. If Wanda, whoever you are, Milkshakey, if you want to come on the show, or if you just want free English classes, we really appreciate it. And as always, you can learn more about what we do at Inglês no Cru.
Yes, and one more thing. Thank you, Luis, that sent us a message and let us know about it, because if it wasn't you, we wouldn't know at all.
Thanks, Luis. Thank you for everyone listening. We're very sentimental lately. Thank you. Extremely grateful. Okay.
Yay. Yes, okay.
On with the show. Oi, fala aí, pessoal. Bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no Rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English. Hey, Alexia.
Hey, Foster, how are you?
I'm good. Saturday recording podcast. I'm awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've been talking about travel,
Yes.
and today I want to talk about the difference between traveling to cities and traveling to small towns.
Mm-hmm.
So first, a student of mine pointed out to me that the phrase small towns is kind of redundant, you know? In general, a town is smaller than a city, right?
We could say small cities. Is it right?
No one says small cities. Everyone says small towns. But she's like, is that correct? Because this is my student, Camila. Hey, Camila. And she's like, small towns. I mean, towns are already small, right? And I was like, holy shit, you're right. So just another example of sometimes English doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about?
Okay. That phrase could have been better, but I totally understand, and it's Saturday. So most people, when they travel, especially internationally, they go to cities. Almost every time in one of my first classes with a new student, I say, like, have you been to the U.S.? Have you traveled outside of Brazil? And they say, yeah, I've been to the U.S. And I say, oh, where did you go? With 90% certainty, I can guess Miami, New York, maybe San Francisco, San Diego, definitely Disney. That's it.
Yes. Think about it. Cities, they have a lot to do. A lot of new experiences that people are looking for. So, I get the idea of visiting a huge city.
Mm-hmm.
I love New York. I love Miami, I don't know, but from those cities,
Yeah.
I really, really do love New
Yeah.
York.
So can I stop you real quick, Alexia?
Yeah.
So when you said Miami, I don't know. Like,
I
no
never
conheço.
been.
I've never been to Miami.
That's true.
Because when you say conhecer, like, eu não conheço Miami. If you know a city, in quotations, that means like you really, really know a city,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But if you've just visited a city before in your life, you say, oh, I've never been there. Or
Okay,
have you
so
been there?
I could say that I really know Rio because I am from there.
Yeah. In general, we avoid the verb
Knowing.
know with traveling in places.
Okay.
And we use have you ever been to?
Okay.
Yeah. We have an episode about that. Don't remember what number, but we'll put it in the show notes.
Perfect.
Cool.
So the thing about big cities, I think, is the kind of experience that you're gonna have. So everyone wants to go to a Broadway show, to a very good restaurant, to walk on at the Central Park, visit all the museums.
Yeah. Museums.
Museums.
So you have the U's. It's like you're saying the word you, like me and you. And then you have the M sound first. Museums.
Yeah. But I do love small towns. They are my favorite always.
Yeah. I am very conflicted about this because I love cities. I love cities. I lived in New York. I lived in Madrid.
Rio.
I lived in Rio. I've lived in some really big cities, amazing cities. But at the same time, I'm from a really small town in South Carolina. So I'm a small town boy.
Yeah. I am a big city girl, but I do love small towns. So what I like about small towns is the sense of community that they give us.
Yes, exactly. So, for example, right now, Alexia and I are in a small town called Waynesville, North Carolina. You can look it up on Google Maps. It is in the middle of hell nowhere, Western North Carolina. Very, very small, conservative country town, right?
Yeah.
But there's a sense of community. You go on Main Street and it looks like everyone knows each other, everyone's happy. And in a city, everyone's like, work, work, work.
Yes,
Get out of my way.
even with us, we took the dogs to the dog park today. I mean, I made 3 friends there and they weren't dogs, they were humans. So
It has reached the point where Alexia has to specifically say if they are human friends or dog friends. It's really bad, but that's for a
yeah,
different time.
and the restaurant that we went today to have brunch/lunch,
Yeah.
everyone knows each other there.
Yeah. So I think that is something really, really important. I think I told you about this. I recently read a book called Lost Connections. It's by a British guy, and I think his name is Johan Hari. I could be wrong. I'll put it in the show notes. It's really a book about like why we have everything, but people aren't happy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm very sentimental, like Anthony Bourdain's death, Kate Spade's death. Been very philosophical the last few days. And the first thing he said, like after years of research, the number one reason that people are not happy in the modern age is
The lack of sense of community, not being part of something.
right. And
Yeah.
small towns have that, like just naturally built into them.
Yeah. And I get that. I mean, we are really, really next to Asheville, like 20, 30 minutes from it. Is it another small town, but it's not that small?
Yeah,
It's
I would consider Asheville a city.
I,
Also,
I wouldn't.
yeah, Asheville is definitely a city.
Is it?
Yeah, they have Urban Outfitters in the center.
And Asheville is amazing. So my perfect life would be living in a small town next to a city that I could travel in 20, 30 minutes there, drive there, sorry.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Yeah. So trying to relate this to travel. So if someone is planning a trip to the US, visit big cities. They are awesome. You know,
And
nothing against them. You're going to spend more money. You probably will not have as an authentic experience, but make some time for the small towns too.
yeah, take Portugal and Spain, for instance, and Italy.
Italy.
Italy. Everyone who goes to
Really
Portugal,
need to work on that.
Portugal, Spain, and Italy, they
Repeat with me. Id.
I-
No, id.
it
So you're saying it with the D. Id.
Italy.
So id, o som do schwa, li, Italy.
Italy.
Okay, Italy.
Italy.
Much better.
And Italia.
Tá bom?
Parla italiano. Allora.
Allora.
I don't know, but I see my friends traveling to these places, and they always visit like Porto, Lisbon, and all the small towns next to it, and Madrid and Barcelona, and all the small towns. Go to Rome, Venice, and they always go to small towns next to it.
Yeah. So really the thing for me,
And one thing, small towns here in the US are so cooler, so good.
so much cooler.
Yeah, so much cooler, so nice to visit. So you're gonna love it.
Yeah. I mean, the really important thing for me is when I think about my travels, I like to consider that I've traveled a good bit. I know Alexi is thinking that is very pretentious, but I've traveled.
Very international.
So when I think about my time in Brazil, I love Rio. Absolutely love Rio. I love São Paulo.
I know what you're gonna say.
I don't think you do, actually. So when I think about some of my most important experiences in Brazil, I think about Petrópolis.
Teresópolis,
Yeah, Teresópolis, Novo Friburgo,
Paraty,
Paraty. Those are the places where I
Poços.
really, I met real people. They treated me like a real person. And the coolest thing, if you are a foreigner in a small town, when I go to Poços de Caldas in Minas Gerais, where Alexia's family's from, I'm like the only American there, and everyone's like, holy shit.
You are a star, just the way I am here.
I'm a superstar. When
I
I go to Rio,
doubt.
everyone's like, oh, gringo. Like,
Yeah,
o seu português é bom, cara, mas sais.
I doubt that there is another Brazilian here in Waynesville. I'm not talking about Asheville,
I
but
bet there is.
I bet no, there's
If
not.
you're listening, please contact us. We need friends here. It's so long we're in the small towns.
No, it's not. We are doing great.
We're doing great. The moral of the story, if you're traveling internationally, incorporate some small towns into your trip.
Even in Brazil.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Cool. All right. Talk to you
Happy
tomorrow.
Saturday.
You too.
Bye.